Greetings, sports fans, and welcome back to another edition of the Breath of Fresh Air Webcast. I am Charles Taylor, and Patrick, say what's up to the public.
Roll Tide, roll, I guess.
So,
I'm
with
salty.
that, with that depressing look you have on your face, can you please explain why you are in this Alabama jersey?
Yes, I'll explain it. I ran my mouth too much, and don't get it twisted. I'm still going to run my mouth as much as I can. But I ran my mouth too much and got caught up and said that Tebow will be starting week 4 for any team possible in the NFL. And, well, he still. I do have to say this in my defense. He did start for the SEC network. Roll Tide, roll. I'm still sick about it. You can kiss my ass, Purdy. That's all I'm saying.
Is that trash can next to you so you could throw up? I know that was hard to do just now.
Oh God! Look, it's harder than I thought it was gonna be. You know, huge Georgia fan, man. Bleed red and black, man. But fuck,
Tonight it's Crimson.
Crimson Tide. I'll root for them when they're playing outside the SEC, but I can't do it after that any more than that. Other than that, man, this is harder than I thought it was going to be. So kiss my ass, Purdy, for winning that bet. You suck.
Yeah, I know that. Oh, I kind of want to throw up for you.
Do it. I'm gonna go to the bar after this.
Well, Patrick, since they will be seeing you in this Alabama jersey, I guess that's punishment enough. So, without further ado, let's talk about some of these topics that we have for this webcast. Got the MLB playoffs. We'll start with that. So, from the looks of things, Patrick, it looks like it is going to be a Kansas City Royals New York Mets World Series. Kansas City is up on Toronto 3-2. The Mets are up on the Chicago Cubs 3-0. Looking like it's going to be a sweep because, well, it's 6-1 going into the top of the 8th. So, what are your thoughts on the events?
Well, I jumped on the bandwagon too early. I should have sit on my balls, so I jump off that bandwagon early. But I should have held strong, man. Should have held strong against them damn Cubs. I knew they were going to do it, and then I changed my mind. They're playing like crap, dude. The Mets pitching is dominating. A bunch of people that want to swing on the first pitch, and they're getting them, man. The Chicago's playing like crap, dude. They haven't scored more than 2 runs in any of the 4 games. They can't put any hits together. They're not getting on base. They're striking out like crazy. And the Mets, I mean, they're going 7 strong before they even go into their bullpen. I'm like, this team is going to be ready for the World Series. So, I don't know, man.
Hey, they brought in Bartolo Colon tonight. So he had a corn dog with him.
Everybody was mesmerized by his big old belly. How in the hell did he make it? Man, he drives me crazy just making the damn MLB roster.
Well, he been a bona fide. He wasn't always that big. I mean, he been in the league for a good amount of years. He wasn't always that big.
His belly has a gravitational pull on them damn buttons on his jersey.
Oh, look, hey, Patrick, right now the buttons scream. All right, we're not taking that away. The buttons scream, release me when he puts on that jersey. We know that. But he wasn't always that big, just semi-big.
Well, he's eating a lot. He's been eating a lot of corn dogs, so he's big now.
yeah, he's huge now. But but no, Patrick, I'm not gonna be as critical of the Cubs as I'm gonna give more credit to the Mets, man. You know the saying: good pitching will normally beat good hitting, especially in the playoffs. And the Mets can run out these starters, man. Noah Syndergaard, Matt Harvey, Jacob deGrom, Steven Matz. And when you have starters like that who can go 7 innings, oh man, that's gravy
Yeah,
for your bullpen.
yeah, because it
And that's
doesn't
what's
put any
happening, man. They're just
pressure
shutting
on.
themselves down.
Yeah, it doesn't put any pressure on your team. Chicago, I mean, it's I didn't look, dude. I didn't expect them to make the playoffs this year, and then they made it. I didn't expect them to win the first game, that first game playoff bull crap that they won, but they did. I didn't have them win in the second round, and then they did. And then I have them going to the World Series, and then they want to shit all over my face, asshole. Insult to injury. I gotta wear the Coker jersey, and now Chicago shitting on my face, man. I'm telling you, I'm mad.
So we see you're very extra salty tonight. No censor buttons. This is straight unedited.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna get it unfiltered tonight. Because I'm mad. I'm mad.
well, Patrick, look, hey man, I think yeah. Okay, so you've been wrong about a lot of stuff. It's okay. It happens. We all go through those ruts.
It has been a bad year, dude. Well, anyway, look, Chicago playing like crap, man. But like you said, you got to give more credit to the Mets, man. They're throwing them starters out. Your starters getting 7 innings and putting no pressure on that bullpen. And then you look at the American League, look at Toronto and Kansas City, man. Toronto won tonight, but the bats finally came alive. But Kansas City, maybe you don't expect this team to put up 14 runs in one game, but they do. They did. I mean, so Kansas City bats have been just like on fire in this series, which you wouldn't expected them to be, and Toronto has not. You know, Kansas City's going 6, 7 deep into their starting rotation, and Toronto's getting blasted out by the third, fourth inning. What can you do when you got pitchers that's not lasting?
Well, one thing Kansas City has done to Toronto is they have taken away the long ball. Besides game 3, where I think Toronto hit 3 home runs in that game, they have taken away the long ball. And Toronto, we know long ago they're very reliant on the long ball. And if they're not hitting the long ball, they struggle to score. So the Kansas City pitchers have done a good job of keeping the ball away, keeping the ball low. When they're missing low. I mean, they're good. It's been good game planning.
And when they're doing some strategic missing too. I mean, I was watching game 2. I can't remember who the Kansas City starter was, man, but he was living. That ball was living in the dirt, and it was just strategically placed there perfectly every time. And he was catching them off guard. I think he had like 10 strikeouts in that game.
I think it was Ventura. Your
Ventura.
auto Ventura, yeah.
He had like 10 strikeouts in that game, and he left in this freaking 7.5 innings. 10 strikeouts. I mean, you can't beat that. And if your pitchers are giving you that, I mean, both the Mets and Kansas City's pitchers are giving them that. Your pitchers are going that deep, man. It's hard to beat a team with pitchers going that deep. And the Mets are just not missing, and Kansas City's just not missing. So, like you said, man, it's looking like a Mets Kansas City, but that Kansas City Toronto game or that series could still go Toronto's way. I mean, I know they're going back up to Kansas City for the last 2 games, but we know that Toronto can put some string wins together and they can hit the ball. So, that one's still an open series, but that Chicago Mets, that's pretty much a wrap.
All right. Yep. So, well, with that, let's talk about some of the college action that happened this past weekend. What exactly caught your eye from last weekend?
Well, God, hold on. I'm having to think of some of the games. First game, LSU and Florida, man. Whew. Talk about the Mad Hatter's gutsy call, dude. What the? How the hell does he do it, man? I don't get it. I was like, that man he's got a sack on him. He's got a major sack on him. I mean, his wife is impressed. She has to be.
He does seem to have a feeling, or yeah, because I think that's just a feel thing. It's just one of those things where you get into a situation or you think this play will work, and you just wait for that right time to call it. And this was a right time to call it. It just happened to be because Florida clearly wasn't expecting it. And he always seems to make these calls against Florida. You notice that?
Every year, it's the same crap. Every year, it's always against Florida. And then because he ain't got his nutsack travels up when he gets against Alabama or somebody like that. But when he's against Florida, exactly. It's like them things hanging down to his knees and he's ready to go. I don't get it.
I don't understand why when they do play Alabama, they just gets ultra conservative. I don't understand that.
But then when he plays Florida, man, he is balls to the wall. I don't know. Every year he will let some crazy crap go. 4th and 13, and he'll convert that 5 times. Or what was this one last week? 4th and 13. It was 4th and 13. And
yeah, I didn't hear about to kick a field goal.
16 yards. I was like, what?
Yeah. Oh, and Patrick, real quick, also, Michigan State and Michigan. Oh my goodness! And you know what? Kickers and punters. Are you kidding me? Catch the ball. And you know what? Look, if I was Jim Harbaugh in that situation, I would have called a timeout and I would have told him, because the punter, he does the rugby style punt. At that point, catch the ball, get it out of there. Michigan State didn't have nobody back there to receive the punt. They were coming after the punt. All 11 guys are coming after the punt. Catch the ball, get it out of there. I don't care if it was a little pooch punt. I don't care. Get the ball out of there.
Nope. He headbutts it. Get the damn thing out. That's just do something. I don't care if you flip it. I mean, do like paper football. Get that thing out. I don't care. Don't. Yeah. But you know what? That's what we said about the life of a kicker, man. They're either taking home the prom queen, or they banging that fat ugly woman under the bleachers.
He took the ball and he tried to run before he caught the ball. And then to make matters worse, he tried to turn around and run again. And then he got tackled. And then the dude picked it up. Get the ball out of there. Yeah. Don't worry. Rugby style, that's garbage, especially for that situation. Get the ball out of there. Catch the ball, get it out of there. If you get the ball out of there, is a completely different conversation. We're talking about Michigan potentially being the best team in the Big Ten. Because, I mean, they had Michigan State beat. Michigan State escaped. That's what happened.
Hands down, they had them beat. But, you know, this is what we say about good teams, and this is what we say about great teams, man. Good teams, they
find a way.
They fought, but great teams always find a way to win. And I told you in a conversation, probably over the phone, over text messages, I don't remember. I said, whoever wins that game is the best out of the Big Ten. And, well, I got to go with Michigan State, man. You asked me if I was going to which one. I said, I'll let you know after the game. Michigan State. They came out and they played, and they somehow pulled that out of their butthole and won. I will say this, though, you know, Michigan State plays 10 times. I honestly, that's a 50-50 draw, man. I don't know. But as it stands right now, Michigan State is the best one in that conference, and I still feel Ohio State will probably take 2 or 3 losses even before the season's over with, because Michigan now, they got 2 losses, and Jim Harbaugh, you know how he feels about you being a 49er fan, him head coaching you just last year. You know how he is, so he's probably pretty pissed about it. So
I think with Michigan, the key thing is they have the one conference loss, so they can still win the conference. They're gonna have to get a loss from Michigan State, obviously, somewhere along the line, but since they have the one conference loss, they still have Ohio State coming in there. Michigan still does have a lot to play for, and if you have two losses, they probably have the, if there's any such thing as having the best two losses, they probably have those best two losses. They lost to Utah and they lost to Michigan State. Now, I was hearing somebody talk about the losses, and I'm like, they still lost it, but
yeah, they still lost. I mean, yeah, granted, one of them's a conference, but I'm telling you, Michigan State looking at look, dude, they got 5 games left. They got Indiana, Nebraska, Maryland, Ohio State, and Penn State.
they
You
should
know,
win.
it looks like Michigan State should finish undefeated this year. Looks like. Unfortunately, you know, they still got to play the number 1 ranked team in America,
And that game's in Columbus.
and that game is in So let's see how November 21st rolls around, and then we'll touch back on Michigan State and seeing how they do. But I mean, to me, I see them finish undefeated.
Real quick, Patrick. Any thoughts? I hate to do this to you, but any thoughts on the Alabama and Texas A&M?
I mean, granted, I had Alabama winning that game. Texas A&M, I didn't say it was going to be an easy game. I know I was going back and forth. I mean, even I told you 5 times. I was like, yeah, I got Alabama, and then like 2 days later, I was like, yeah, I got Texas A&M. And then I was like, yeah, Alabama's probably going to win that game. And then Texas A&M's going to win. And then I think probably Saturday morning or Friday night, I texted you. I was like, yeah, I think I got or talking to you, I got Alabama. I was going back and forth on the game, man. I really didn't know. But then, I mean, Alabama Henry ran all over him, dude. I mean, he came out and did what he was supposed to do, and he ran them.
Yeah, the game coming up with them in LSU, which I think is in Tuscaloosa this year. Yeah, that's looking like a good game. That's looking like that's gonna be something to watch when we do play.
Yeah, better game every second of the day is getting better. And quick update, man. Mets just put up 2 more runs.
Yeah, 8-1.
8-1, bottom of the 8th.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So much for that Rangers Cubs World Series stream.
One more thing on college football, man. We'll roll on into the NFL. We got to give a shout out to Memphis, man.
Yes, big win over Ole Miss.
Big win over Ole Miss. Well played, boys. That's all I got to say about that, man. They played well. Every time Ole Miss had to set something to say, Memphis had something to say right back. So yeah, man, good win for Memphis. I think they put them in the rankings now.
Yeah,
I don't know what the rank, but I think it put them in the rankings.
That was a dangerous game for Ole Miss, anyway. I mean, that was just one of those games where you're like, ooh, excuse me, hiccups. But when you,
sorry guys, we got some technical difficulties again.
Yeah, no, man, that was the hiccups. That was on my computer. But
Charles is in an earthquake again.
Yeah, man. No, but you looking at that game, you're going through that SEC schedule, and then you have a game in Memphis where Memphis, pretty good team, and they were waiting. It was one of those games. Memphis probably they of course they'll do the politically correct talk. We take one game at a time. Every game is important. You can't possibly tell me Memphis did not have that game circled on their schedule. They were looking forward to that game.
Absolutely. And if they didn't, they should be slapped for not having it. They had it circled. They had it circled for the simple fact is that is a game they should have circled. It was a ranked team. Ole Miss is a very good team, and they came in and they manhandled them. Plain and simple. And anytime, don't get me wrong, Memphis tried to bite back, I'm sorry, Ole Miss tried to bite back, but Memphis stopped it. So I just wanted to say, give a shout out to Memphis, man. Good job on that game, man.
Yep.
Well planned. Well planned.
Well, let's move on to the NFL. What caught your eye out of that?
Well, there was a couple of games that really caught my eye. You know, New Orleans, man, they came out to play. And it's about, don't get me wrong, I hate New Orleans. And if my team is going to lose to anybody in the freaking world, please don't let it be New Orleans or Dallas. But hey, man, Drew Brees, dude, I've always said this. I like him as a quarterback, man. The dude is the truth, but he was nasty that game, man. I mean, he was nasty. Um, so that stuck out in my mind. The oh God, what is the game? Hold on. Uh, Carolina and Seattle. All right. I was calling this game 17-14 Carolina. And I think Carolina ended up beating them 27-23. All right.
Yes.
Carolina, they're a dangerous team because, man, they're playing like they have nothing to lose. That's dangerous for a lot of other teams because they really don't have anything to lose. They're not picked to be they're not a heavy favorite to win the South. There were in high talks that they weren't even looking at even making the playoffs. Here they are 6-0. Now, right now, I can tell you right now, a lot of these ESPN with their stupidity and the way they want to blow up the New England Patriots right now, it gives Carolina the opportunity to fly under the radar. I can tell you right now, Carolina is not flying under the radar. There's going to be some teams out on the hunt for them because they're still undefeated. They're 6-0. I don't know who they're going to play against this.
No, they're 5-0. They had a bye week.
Oh yeah, they're 5-0. All right, and I don't remember who they got this week.
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Oh. Now let me start my rant on freaking Philadelphia. Seriously, they're gonna be 6-0 because look, Sam Bradford. Sam Bradford puts the SUCK in sucks. Yes, every letter. He puts them all in there.
The whole word, yeah.
The whole word. He puts them all in there. And I mean, dude, the only thing that's sadder than where.
Whoops, had the TV on. Sorry, my
man. Come on, man. I'm on a rant right now, and you got the TV going.
Sorry, man. No, man. Sorry. Oh, my bad. Yeah.
And then on top of that, Sam Bradford has a hair lip. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, all the viewers, go in and search Sam Bradford looks like Butthead from Beavis and Butthead. I tell you, they look just alike. It's uncanny, man. I'm telling you. I don't like him. He sucks.
Did you say? Correct. I might have missed this. Did you say you didn't like his hair?
No, he's got a hair lip.
Oh, okay.
Like Butthead, like this.
Sorry. All right. I just wanted to make sure, man.
Just put Sam Bradford versus Butthead, and look at them. They look just alike. If they did a movie, Sam Bradford would star as Butthead. I'm just saying.
Well, Patrick,
football.
Well, real quick before we jump off the whole, back to Carolina for a second. So we were talking about, I mean, Sam Bradford. Yeah, I agree with you with Sam Bradford. But back to Carolina for a second. Now all of a sudden, after Carolina has beaten Seattle, now people want to talk about Cam Newton for MVP votes. He should have been getting these MVP votes already, honestly, because we talked about Carolina last week, and he's probably doing more with less than any of those guys. Now, we all know, like you said about the New England Patriots, Tom Brady's going to get votes. Aaron Rodgers is probably going to get some votes. And they're deserved. I mean, I'm not trying to say they don't deserve those votes, but Cam Newton should be up there with those guys just based on the overall performance we have seen this year. He should be up there.
Overall,
I mean, if we had to pick an MVP after 5 or 6 games.
Well, he should have been considered for the MVP after week 3 with the beat to the Saints. Now, granted, I understand the Saints weren't doing as well at that point because they just now starting to clicking right now. But look, the time will tell when you got the Saints in the Superdome, right? and I think Carolina still got. I think they got them in sometime in December. So
Yeah, Carolina will have to go to the Superdome because they beat them in Charlotte when they
Charlotte.
played.
So I mean, after week 3, I would have started looking at Cam Newton as an MVP at that point. But the time will tell, especially when you look at look, Carolina's defense is nasty. I mean, it's nasty, and if you're looking at an MVP, like you said, we're going to look at 5 MVPs, but week 3 should have been the telling about Cam Newton. And granted, it's a long season. That was just the first quarter of the season. He's in the second quarter. Let's see how it goes because they got the Seahawks, Eagles, Colts, and Packers, and Packers is going to be a hard game. They got them in Charlotte, but still, it's Aaron freaking Rodgers. So let's see how he does after week 8 when he plays the Packers, and if they are still undefeated at that point, you got to give this man more votes than even Aaron Rodgers because he just beat him. So, yeah, I mean, I felt he should have been in the talks after week 3.
Well, Patrick, before we conclude our NFL review, I wanted to go on a little rant myself, and it's actually about the New England Patriots. Now, for whatever reason, I keep hearing about them going on a revenge tour. What are they getting revenge for? They're the Super Bowl champions. Who do they have to get revenge on? The revenge tour? It should be called the "I just want to whoop your ass again" tour, or I'm gonna whoop your ass more than I whooped your ass last time. When they went to Indianapolis, what did they have to? They beat them 45-7. They had beaten them every single time since Andrew Luck has been in the NFL. What are they getting revenge for? They're the Super Bowl champions. They don't have to get revenge on anybody. So I don't understand this whole thing about calling this a revenge tour. Again, it is the "I'm going to whoop your ass again" tour. That is what I'm calling it.
Well, first of all, Charles, that's way too many words.
So
1 and 2, ESPN is probably supporting this somehow, some way when they're on their 50-50 with Tom Brady and the Patriots, because 50% of the time ESPN is kissing his ass, and the other 50% of the time they're complaining because he's butt raping them. I mean, look, ESPN doesn't know what they want from Tom Brady. They don't know if they want him to rape them or if they just want to give it up to him. That's the way I look at it.
Patrick, look, I don't care how many words are in there. So I'm calling it "Whoop That Ass Again" tour. That's what it is.
Here, we'll even write.
You're the Super Bowl.
Whoop that ass again and again and again and again and again tour.
When you're the Super Bowl champions, you don't have to get revenge on anybody. Nobody.
Well, they just probably want to put a gate to it. This is called Revenge Gate. All right.
Oh, okay. So well, fine. Whoop your ass again, gate. Whatever.
There we go. That makes more sense. Charles, why aren't you working at ESPN right now?
Well, on that note, Patrick, we're gonna call this one a wrap. So we will be back with another show this week, hopefully, if our schedules allow. And I guess we will see y'all soon. So say bye, Patrick. Tell them what we got coming.
All right, Purdy, last time you're gonna hear this. Roll Tide Roll. It'll not happen again because I will not bet on a Florida Gator like that again. Especially Tim Tebow with his punk ass can't start a damn game. All right. What was I supposed to do?
These rants. Tell them about the Twitter and the Instagram that's coming up.
Yeah, catch us on Twitter, man. I'm at the Freshness as always, and Charles is at Breath of Fresh A6. Look us up, hit us up. We're gonna try to do some special stuff for the Twitter following. So hit us up on that. Hit us up on Instagram. You catch us out on mine's PJ Brackett, and Charles is it. I don't even think you have an Instagram right now, do you?
No.
You're slacking on your Mac.
I am.
Slacking on your Mac, and so get that in there. And hit us up subscribe on the channel, man. hit us up. Let us know what you need, what you want to say, what you like, what you don't like, so we can reply that we don't really care. So there it is.
we we do care because we're going to respond to everything. That's just us. We're going to respond to whatever is said, and we will make sure we will take that feedback. And if we have to get better, then we'll get better. If you like it, then we like it. If you don't like it, well, then all right, then whatever.
If we're going to get better, you're going to have to suck it and deal with it.
Yeah, give us a chance. I'm sure you will.
It don't matter.
Give us a chance, and I'm sure you will like it later. We're just that confident. So
you will like it because your mom already likes it. So there you go.
Yeah. So yes, holla at us, and we will respond. Until next time, you guys have a good rest of the week, and we'll be back later on in the week. Take care. See you later.